So a while back now, Jan Willem, who makes Eurorack synthesizers under the name GINKOSYNTHESE, you may know I've got one of the sample splicer DIY modules in the Cosmo format. Obviously, it's under a bigger panel because it's not Eurorack. He fired us a message about one of the first 2 Benjolins that were made by Rob Hordijk, or at least close to that, because Rob made this for an art exhibition out of the first 5 PCBs of the Benjolin. And the story around this Benjolin is pretty interesting. So since I was in the Netherlands a couple of weeks ago on tour, I went to go and pick up the Blippo Extravaganza box. After playing Café Bosch for 2 nights in Arnhem, we drove over to The Hague to Stichting de Besturing, I hope I pronounced that right, where Jan has done modular synthesizer festivals and the Benjolin box is there. But before we go and check out the box, Jan showed us around his studio and all of the modules that he makes. This is where he also assembles the Eurorack modules, and there's a load of machines and stuff that he's built throughout the decades.
So here you see a little bit of compression.
Okay.
And then...
Oh, let's go and have a look.
Yeah, and this one.
Oh, that is what that's one of
This
the
was
first.
a noise drone thing.
GINKOSYNTHESE noise drone.
So the thing is, when I started making music in 2004 on hardware,
Yeah.
I did not have money at all, so I just fabricated everything which I thought I wanted to have. So this is a sample playing thing, and I made this module, so I just added some circuitry.
Some amplifier and
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
And this is from an old organ I
Oh, is that an organ
took
drum
apart.
machine?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, this is, it's funny because there's a lot of parallels with, I reckon a lot of people who get into this kind of do that, kind of think, oh, it's like, oh, there's a drum machine in that. It's
Exactly.
going to be on a panel.
Exactly, and when you don't have money, it doesn't mean, I hear a lot of people saying Eurorack is too expensive and it's impossible because you need a lot of money. But the thing is, when you are a bit creative with these kind of things, you can build your own fun stuff. For example, this is just a PCB of the organ drum. You will recognize all the setup things. I just made them because I wanted to bring them on stage and play around.
Yeah.
But I wanted to have an LFO, so that's why my first LFOs. So you see, it's even the same size because I just didn't know anything about sizes and anything.
The first Ginkgo product, would you say, was the TT-LFO?
Yeah, here is one, and it was really a simple designed PCB as well. I learned a lot in this period. I just needed this, so for myself. And I was like, okay, if I make 10, sell them, I have them for free for myself.
Yeah. Even the LiDAR sensing synthesizer, which he made with Gus and which we'll be chatting to in a little bit. Anyway, let's have a look at the Benjolin. We're currently in The Hague, and we are picking something up today. It's down here, let's go and have a look at it. Can you see it? It's over there, it's over there. That thing. What is it? We're gonna find out in a second, but some of you may not recognize what it is. It's awesome. Let's have a chat with Gus, who had a very big hand in the Blippo Extravaganza.
Because I got this very strange phone call at one point from Olaf van Windum, who is running this art festival in The Hague called Today's Art. And he had this theme, I think it was 2009, he had this theme that the whole festival was going to be about conflict. And so he said, hey, what if I would give you $500 and I give you this location with a tent and you use this to make the biggest fuck you, his word, statement towards today's art that you can. Yeah. And I can be a little bit contrarian. So I thought, yes, let's go do it. But then I had to fill a festival location for 3 days. So then it was time to make some phone calls for help.
And this is when Gussen involved Rob Hordijk in the project.
And he had just finish this Benjolin design as a sort of simpler version of the Blippo box.
Yeah.
And he called it this Benjolin because it was inspired by the circuit bending, but he wanted to have a proper instrument, and it can be a little bit violin-like. So it's like the cross between bending and violin.
So the circuit got put into these two very large boxes. Kassen said that the inspiration was from like the idea of the fear of terrorism and stuff like that, and they're quite imposing, and you have to walk between them. They make funny noises, and you're forced to interact with them because number one, it can't be turned down in volume and it can't be turned off.
If you want to do public stuff, you need to build big.
Yeah.
So my standard is if it fits in your living room, then it's probably not suitable for like doing a public performance or art piece, right? It needs to be bigger than life or people will miss it. So then we were stuck with these annoying boxes, and they ended up at the local squat here where it's a former pirate radio. So then we did a lot of stuff with that. We once had an event about games, and all of these games were making noise, and then we were broadcasting this on the radio. I don't know what the English word, we call it here the Dr. Bibber. It's like this children's game. Operation,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So then we inserted one of these boxes into the circuit of the operation.
This is
so,
operation.
Yes,
Yeah.
so then when this patient was screaming out that this would make its weird noises.
It can't be turned off and it can't be turned down.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, right, because otherwise people could start avoiding this conflict, which is not the purpose of.
So it's designed to be as obtrusive as possible, basically, and
which also explains why it's a little bit, it can be a little bit in the way, and why someone might want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Which is where you come in.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put it right in the door so people have to walk around it.
I was hoping for that. I was hoping. Yes. See?
And the other one you say, because there was two, you said slaughtered in your words, slaughtered for the PCB.
Yes, for the PCB, and then I traded the big knobs with Paul Tas for one of his chaotic modules.
Well, I guess we'll take this to the next show and see what people think about it. It then spent a couple of days in the back of the van driving around Europe, and then we got to Berlin to play in Hole 44. And we got it out and put it on the merch stand to show somebody who knows a little thing or two about strange, mysterious synthesizers. What? Right, let's edit that catch out. That was horrendous. Right, here we go. The Blippo Extravaganza.
Yeah, the Blippo Extravaganza. I think that was the thing.
Okay. Well, you can tell us more about it, what you've heard, because
I know there was an exhibition,
hiding.
but I've never seen it in real life. There's almost no information about this out there.
there it is. The Blippo. There was two of them. There was two, but the other one was dismantled at some point because obviously it went through time that it was just like completely pointless. It's like, what's this big useless box?
Of course. Spiders
Right,
in the...
I'm gonna let go from the bottom and then lay it down, stand it up. There we go, the Blippo Extravaganza.
Ooh!
So originally it was actually white at the Extravaganza.
Yeah.
And then they sprayed it to match GINKOSYNTHESE's modular synth caravan.
Let's see. How high is it? So I'm tiny, so I can get it.
They can hear it better there, yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. I love it. Perfect, we're in far territory. The filter sounds so good.
It's just a car speaker and a car
Yeah.
amplifier in the back. So it's now at this museum's not obsolete for people to be able to use. Yes, that's right, it's open so you can play on some of the synthesizers as well as the Benjolin. The information below on the opening times and stuff is below. I've purposely not looked inside because Kassen said not to. We want to leave the mystique there, and that means that we don't know what the knobs are actually correlated to. Got a bit of an idea. This one and this one we know are oscillators, and these we know are filters, and then I guess the rest of them are to do with the rungler. If you're not aware what the rungler is, watch the other video I've done on making Benjolins below. But it's a really interesting machine because even if you only adjust it a slight bit, you get really different noises. And the big knobs really help to get tiny little adjustments. Like Kassen said, Hordijk was inspired by the mathematics behind the chaos, and you find little patterns here and there in the chaos. It can go from chaos to more rhythmic items, to melodic items, to melodic patterns. We've put together a sample pack of this over on the museum channel, so if you want to check that out, there is a link in the description. You can get hold of it. And yeah, until next time, I'm Look Mum No Computer. Remember, don't be scared to try it.